Hello everyone, welcome back to another IELTS Speaking Mock Test video. I'm Harshit and today we got an English teacher. He just started working, so let's get to the video. Before that, let me know where you're from. Most likely you'll be from Uzbekistan. Let me know down in the comments. So let's get to the video. Good afternoon, my name is Harshit and I'll be your mock examiner today. And we are conducting this mock exam at our virtual test center at Celestial IELTS. Could you please tell me your full name?
Well, my full name is Abdugafforov Oybekjon, but you can call me Oybek.
Okay, Oybek. All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Uzbekistan, a city called Kokand.
Can you tell me more about Kokhand?
Yeah, it's a place which is located in Fergana region. It's mostly well known for its food and one of the museums, which is called Khan.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. And do you work or study?
I have just started a career in teaching. I teach English language for students, and I guess
That's
it's getting interesting.
okay. So why do you think it's getting interesting?
Because I like to talk to people, and being teacher gives you the opportunity to talk with a lot of students. So it's nice.
hmm Okay, so what are the challenges that you face as a teacher?
Talents,
Challenges.
challenges. Um, Dealing with paperwork and checking homework. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes students do not do their homework, and it's pretty annoying, to be honest.
Mm.
And also checking their homework takes much of the time. So
Okay, that's so true. I can relate. All right. So did you always want to become a teacher?
not exactly. Life happens to you, and just I haven't thought about becoming a teacher. I was more of a businessman who wanted to establish his business and deal with lots of customers. But yeah, like when COVID-19 hit, I had no choice but to apply for university and became a teacher.
Okay. So do you think you will change your career in the future?
I don't think so because I'm starting to get the hang of it. I enjoy teaching people, so probably I end up becoming one of the great teachers here in Uzbekistan. Hopefully.
Okay, that's amazing. Now let's talk about reading. Okay.
All right.
So do you enjoy reading books?
Honestly, no. I'm not a book person, honestly. I like to read articles, short articles. I become easily bored when I have to read something too long. So I'd rather read articles instead of books.
Hmm. Okay, so do you prefer reading physical books or using digital devices?
It depends, honestly. If I don't have the physical book, I would opt for digital version ebook. But if I have the book itself on me, I would probably read the printed version because it gives me a sense of satisfaction, sense of feeling, and I can relate to the feeling of touching the paper itself.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite author?
um, I'm not very familiar with authors, but I believe J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter versions of the book, is very famous, and I can identify her and read her books because he's, in my opinion, so well talented writer.
Okay. Now let's talk about libraries. Do you ever go to the library?
Well, I used to, honestly. When I was studying at the university, I used to come to library and do some research and do my homework. But now, I don't ever go to libraries because honestly, I don't need to go there. I can find any books on my phone. The reason why I used to go to a library was spending time with my girlfriend and do some homework together.
hmm Okay, so are libraries popular where you live?
Not exactly. People usually don't want to go libraries.
Hmm.
um, but maybe it's just because we don't have many libraries here in my town. We have only one library, and it belongs to the university. So if you're a student of the university, you can go and do your stuff. But if you're not a student, maybe you're not allowed to enter and enjoy the atmosphere at the library. So maybe that's the reason.
Okay, great, Oybek. Your part one is over. Now let's move on to part two of the speaking test. Okay.
All
So
right.
here I'm gonna give you a topic and I'd like you to talk on it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start, you'll have 1 minute to prepare and you can make some notes if you wish. Okay. So this is your cue card. I want you to talk about a book that you have recently read and enjoyed. Okay. Your 1 minute time for preparation starts now.
1 minute later.
All right, time's up. Can you start speaking now? Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, and I'll let you know when to stop. Please begin.
All right. So I'd like to talk about a Harry Potter book, which I recently read and enjoyed very much. So usually I don't read books because I get easily bored from reading them. But one of my friends, whose name was Farouk, suggested me to read one or two books to improve my English skills, especially reading and speaking skills. So I decided to opt for Harry Potter book because um, I have seen the movie before, so it was easy for me to get into story and know the details very very much. So what interested me was magical business. The book pretty much detailed the magical world where people can use magic, and then there are some creatures that have magical powers. So it was really fascinating for me. So the reason why I enjoyed very much from this book was it was science fiction, and I really enjoy reading and watching science fiction movies. So it allowed me to use my imagination, and you feel like I was in the book. I was experiencing the same emotions and same occasions with the people who were the characters of the book. So I got really thrilled by reading this book.
Can you add a bit more?
Yeah. Uh, one of the parts was really great where Harry Potter, the main character, fights one of the beasts, and his father comes to help.
Okay,
Actually,
thank
his
you.
father was dead, but
All right, so I'll be asking 1 or 2 questions related to this. So, how many times did you read this book?
I've read this book once only. Um, but if I have time, I would like to reread and uh, catch some details previously got
Mm-hmm.
unnoticed.
Okay, so would you recommend this book to your friends or maybe your students?
It depends who I'm recommending the book, because if I'm recommending it for someone who is interested in science fiction, they can enjoy the book. But if there is someone who is more interested in romance or comedy or drama, they don't quite enjoy this kind of book, honestly. They would rather read something related to love or drama.
Okay. So let's talk more about this. So what kind of books are popular in your country?
Well, now one of the genres of books that is catching on is Korean dramas, especially among girls. Girls are now, being obsessed with Korean dramas. Even if their notebooks, even if their um, notebooks and their
So why
books are
are
from
all
Korean.
right? So why are girls getting obsessed with Korean drama?
It's just because the way the guys look, I believe. Um, um, Probably on the pictures, the Korean guys are, handsome, so to speak. Uh, but yeah, maybe that's the reason. But I don't really talk with many girls about this popularity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So why do some people prefer fiction while others prefer non-fiction?
Maybe it's because how they were exposed to such genres. For example, if someone is exposed when they were a child to fictional books, and then they have developed this preference to genres that that have something to do with science fiction. But if they are, romance related by nature, they can enjoy reading or watching
Mm-hmm.
romance films, right?
Okay. Do you think people read less now than they used to?
Absolutely. In the past, people did not have access to technology such as smartphones, tablets. So they have to read books or newspapers in order to, be aware of the current affairs. But with a click of few buttons, now people can access to news or books on their devices. But so now people are, instead of reading, the obsession seems to be on social media, scrolling and watching some short videos.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you think we will have less libraries in the future?
Well, we have to see what future holds, honestly, because there are people who really love collecting books, and if someone have funds, they can invest in, libraries just for the sake of collecting books and enjoying the view, right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe it's not that we will see less libraries in the future, but it could increase in numbers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How has technology affected our reading habits?
Well, I guess we don't have greater attention span these days. Technology has shaped our reading behavior so badly. Instead of reading full text, we tend to focus on the relevant part and ignore the other parts of the text. So, in my opinion, at least, technology has a negative impact on teenagers, especially. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there are some benefits, but overall negatives are much greater in terms of reading.
Okay. So IELTS is very popular in Uzbekistan now. It has been for a while, right? So do you think IELTS has somehow affected people's reading habits?
IELTS,
Yeah.
maybe yes. If you are someone who is preparing for IELTS and learning English, you don't really have time to read books. you are overwhelmed with your homework and with your assignments. You have to do listening. You have to improve your reading skills by reading articles and short stories, right? At the same time, you have to pick up vocabulary and learn many of the words. So, yeah, in terms of time management, now students don't have uh, much time for reading or doing some social activities as well.
Hmm. Okay, so how can reading benefit young people?
Well, it can honestly broaden their horizons. When someone reads a book, they get to know a lot of information and they get to live the characters' lives. At the same time, they can also improve their imaginations, which is a critical and important feature of a human being, in my opinion. So,
Why do you
if
think
someone is
so?
creative,
Okay, so why do you
because
think so? Hmm.
if someone is creative and can use their imagination so well, they can come up with great solutions and then enjoy their lives. So if you're in a company which produces games for people and teenagers, you can add some of the features by using your imagination and
Okay, great.
creativeness.
Thank you. That is the end of the speaking test.
All right. Nice. I enjoyed the mock test. Honestly, it
Mm-hmm.
was a while since I had a speaking test.
Uh-huh. Overall, you spoke well. Okay. So you got to work on your pronunciation, especially with words such as games, bees, then what else? Called. With ED sounds, you got some issues. Then with grammar, you're pretty fine. In between, you have little confusion. Otherwise, it's cool. Then with fluency and coherence, you are fluent. With lexical resource, you are really solid. You are really able to use phrasal verbs, a variety of language easily without any effort. So overall, it was good. All
Right?
right,
Can
and
I
your
have a
mhm.
this band score? Can you give me a band score?
Right now I cannot say a lot because I wanna really criticize your speaking. Okay, but anyhow, it is really close. You have the potential for a, but the thing that's holding you back is one, your pronunciation and little bit grammar and maybe fluency also, because in some areas I feel like there is a little gap. Otherwise, you're golden. Anyhow, you're okay. So
All right.
I'll
Thank you.
explain why through the feedback video. Okay. It went well, and I really enjoyed his answers. The answers were pretty good, I would say. He had some struggle here and the little grammar issues. Otherwise, everything was perfect, tip top, I would say. Let me know what you think about his speaking and what band score he deserves. I got an idea already. I'll be sharing his feedback video real soon, maybe tomorrow. Okay, so let me know down in the comments. Okay, and if you are one of his students, let me know about that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. See you with his feedback video. Bye bye, take care, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That means a lot and will help me reach more IELTS students and help them out. So thank you so much.